As delegates for the 5th World Congress of Benedictine Oblates, over 150 people arrived at Collegio Sant'Anselmo in Rome on September the 9th to begin the process of learning, listening, and discussing the future of Oblates and the Benedictine family as a whole. Most of our meetings were held in the Abbey Church, which served as both a liturgical space and as a meeting hall. The courtyard had a pond that had turtles and goldfish and koi, and the birds, including many pigeons, enjoyed taking their afternoon siesta on the grass. The view from the windows of our rooms was exceptional. As the meetings got started on Saturday evening, we gathered for the Liturgy of the Hours. Each day allowed for a different language to be used for the readings and the petitions. As we were welcomed by Abbot Primate Gregory Polin, we were invited to introduce ourselves to each other prior to the first keynote presentation on formation by Sister Marie-Madeleine Cassot, a French Benedictine, and with the help of translators and headsets, those who didn't understand French could still listen in to her insights. Each day, a different priest, including the former abbot primate, Notker Wolf, celebrated Mass for the participants. A program stressing the value of silence and lively workshop discussions filled the afternoons. On Monday, all the delegates boarded buses for the trip to Monte Cassino, the monastery founded by Saint Benedict, 5,000 meters up the side of a mountain. It's a very beautiful space, 20,000 square meters in size, with just a handful of monks still living there. It now belongs to the Italian government, who participated in its restoration after it was accidentally bombed during World War II by the Allied forces. While we were there, we saw many historic sites. There's also a very beautiful stained glass window bearing the Star of David, and that was the last window replaced during the restoration, thanks to contributions by Jewish veterans who fought in the war. In addition to pieces of the original Roman temple on which the first monastery was constructed, there's a rock bearing the impression of Saint Benedict's arm. The story is that Saint Benedict fell and the rock softened, preventing him from breaking his arm, and that is the cause of that impression. We saw the tombs of Saint Benedict and Saint Scholastica in the magnificent basilica, where Mass was celebrated with Monte Cassino's abbot Luca presiding. We ate lunch in the monastic refectory before heading back to Rome. On Tuesday, the keynote presentation was given on evangelization by Abbot Donato Alighieri, abbot of St. Paul outside the walls. Wednesday was the outing to Subiaco, where visits were made to St. Benedict's Cave. A third keynote presentation was given on Thursday by Abbot Primate Gregory Poland. He spoke of the need to expand the mission of the monasteries and how the Oblates can contribute to that. On Thursday evening, a concert by a group of Italian musicians presented 17th century musical pieces. On Friday, we again boarded buses, this time heading to the Vatican for a private audience with Pope Francis. He delivered a brief address touching on the need for our hearts to be expanded by the unspeakable sweetness of love. And at the closing ceremony that evening, Abbot Primate Poland commissioned all of us to return to our monasteries as ambassadors of peace and share the Benedictine charism with all we meet.